Hey, what is up, you guys? Welcome back to Otaku. We're back again reviewing 3 more of the Tezuka Manga Contest entries. This week, we are doing 3 more viewer submissions. We're going to do Little Bread Night. That's story by Michael Dannon. Art by Huang Trong Tien and Du Din Lan. This is going to be me butchering last names. Then we're doing Telos by David Arzumanyan and Tigran John-Jug Hazian. I'm so sorry. And then we're finishing it off with Grind by Luke Bates.
Thanks,
we got
man.
that one.
For efforts.
1 out of 3, baby. Woo. So we're going to do it in that order. Of course, these are viewer submissions as well, so we're still working through those. And I'll be doing Little Bread Night. Let me give you a quick little summary, and we'll discuss what we like, what we didn't like. So opening it up, we immediately see a kind of a help wanted page if you want to become a knight. They say, not long ago, there were 2 equally powerful kingdoms controlling the land. Then one day, a powerful wizard summoned an entire clan of dragons to wreak havoc on the realm. The dragons wiped out both kingdoms and set fire to the continent. In the end, there was only one who could stand up to the dragons. He was the Red Knight. After he defeated the wizard, the Red Knight formed the Red Order of Knights, very creative, to help protect the realm. Come to the Red Keep for a tryout. And that's where we meet our main character. We see a little chubby boy. He's got a pie cooking while he's training his breadstick fighting skills. The pie finishes, he runs through town to deliver this pie to some knights in hopes that he could score a tryout. Unfortunately, when he gets there, he trips and slams his face into the pie before anybody could even taste it, and they tell him to fuck off. As they're trying to get him to leave, they are told to stand down as the Red Knight himself walks into the room. The boy explains he just wants a tryout to become a Knight of the Red Order. The Red Knight, good guy, he kind of kneels down. He's like, hey, listen, man, you know what I want? A dragon fruit pie. He says if the boy grabs his map, ventures to his old house in the city ruins, there's a tree full of dragon fruit. And if he accomplishes this task for him, he swears on his honor that he will give him a tryout. Which, I mean, fucking nice guy. So the boy goes, but before we leave, we get one of the knights sticking around, and he goes, don't you think that was a little harsh sending him into the ruins? So they might have set him up for something, but we cut back to the boy. We see he's found the old house. He squeezes through a fence and sees a dragon fruit tree instantly. It's as easy as could be. Unfortunately, an actual dragon appears and tries to kill him. He dodges, pulls out his breadstick, jumps up to the dragon, smacks him once, knocks him out. Just like that. We hear someone down below say, hey, what did you just do to Minoru? The boy kind of tries to play coy, but this new girl jumps up and shoots lightning at him, knocking him out now. So we have 2 people that are knocked out. He awakens within what they call the ancient walls of the city of Benjiro, in a place known as the King's Court. The boy eventually makes a pie for the woman who knocked him out, which is very nice of him. And of course, she loves it. It's delicious. We find out that the young boy wants a statue made of him so all of his children and grandchildren will know what he looks like. Because he doesn't know what his parents look like. They died in the big dragon attack that we learned at the beginning, and they were not important enough to be remembered, which is real sad. The girl then gets up, feeling probably depressed by that story as well, throws a bag full of dragon food towards the boy, and this is where we finally learn his name is Ken. And she introduces herself as Coco. The boy rushes back, now happy he got all his dragon fruit. The Red Knight greets him and is completely shocked at how fast that he made it back. He wants to know how on earth he made it past all of those dragons. Ken replies saying, well, there was only one dragon, but he was pretty weak, and it was really Coco who put up the real fight. Upon hearing this information, the demeanor of the knights just completely changed for a second, but they quickly regain their composure and they send the boy to begin making all those pies so he could get his tryout. They later make a feast for all the citizens to come and try Ken's pies. The Red Knight gives a speech thanking Ken for the gift of the dragon fruit pie, and then continues to say, thanks to all of the Knights of the Red Order, I want to thank you for your hard work in preparing a proper execution ceremony. And then they bring in Coco, who is all chained up. Ken demands to know what they are doing, saying that that's his friend, Coco. And this is where the Red Knight explains that this is actually the daughter of Kasum, the evil wizard, the same wizard that made a dragon kill your parents. He then asks Ken in a moment of, yeah, sorry, dude, this is the person who killed your parents. Can you hold down this girl for me while I do the honor? Like, just fucking execute her, which is a little rough. Ken, being the good guy that he is, through his tears, says, I can't let you do that. They begin to fight. Ken uses his breadstick sword, of course, to break the chains holding Coco and then flees with her. They're quickly surrounded outside of the castle, and Coco explains that the Red Knight is the one who actually destroyed the 2 kingdoms. He stole her father's power by sealing him inside of his own body. And if she's able to call out her father's spirit and reseal him in Ken's body, he'll have no power left to fight you with. The Red Knight tries to plead his case, and no, don't listen to her, like, she's the real bad guy. Ken eventually makes the decision saying that he may not remember what his parents looked like, but he wouldn't be here if they didn't protect him, and tells Coco to do it. Coco begins chanting and calls out her father's spirit from inside of the Red Knight, who then transfers into Ken. And that begins, Ken starts to kind of crackle with lightning and eventually going all into his breadstick sword. He slashes the ground with his sword and creates a fucking hole that drops off the knights in, knocking most of them out, just leaving the Red Knight by himself up there. He jumps up to confront the Red Knight, and the Knight is like, oh yeah, I knew one day this would happen. So the original caster only sealed half of the wizard inside of him. The other half is in his sword that he holds up. They begin to fight. Ken eventually gets slashed across the back, falling to the ground. We get the classic bad guy speech here. And eventually the Red Knight goes to deliver the final blow, but Ken blocks it with his breadstick, making the sword get stuck into the breadstick, which confuses the fuck out of the Red Knight. He says, how could anything in this world be that stale? Ken then says, it's the last thing my parents ever baked, and then sucker punches the Knight right across the fucking cheek. Ken now holds both of the swords with the sword still stuck inside of the breadstick, tears rolling down his face, happy to have gotten this victory. And on the last page, we get to see what Ken has always wanted. His statue is finally complete. It's all wrapped up. He's waiting to see it. Coco goes and pulls off the sheets to reveal the statue, and he's got a nose like Usopp. Pretty accurate aside from that, though. But the nose, and that's the end of the manga. It was pretty good. I liked it. So,
Yeah.
I don't really know where else they would go. I guess there's lots of adventures you would have, which is not a bad thing. But it's a pretty nice, complete story all the way across the board. You get to see Ken. You get to see him go on his adventure. He's overpowered as fuck, by the way.
Yeah.
It's the breadstick, dude.
Yeah,
Nothing rivals that fucking breadstick except a week old fucking Olive Garden breadstick. It's incredible.
He's just saying, he's like one tapping everybody, man. He's just like bap, 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 bap. And he's just like a little boy.
Well, now he has like real powers, so they could totally make him into like a main character and have adventures going around. And now like
Him and the girl, they're constantly gonna hang out. They're gonna do Coco.
And he can get like notoriety, and then get a new statue with a proper nose.
Well, I mean, he already defeated the Red Knight, so he's basically the most powerful person, right? Because the Red Knight defeated the dragon.
Dragons.
So he's the most powerful person.
He's gonna be the little bread dragon knight.
Yes. But I think this is good because, most one-shots that we've read, they try to, like, continue into a serialized format where this is very much like here's your one-shot, that's it. I feel like we went from A to B. He's now successful. He got his statue. He saved the day. He is, like I said, the most powerful person at this point. So, like, that's one and done. Like, kudos to Ken, man. He's fucking done it.
And besides like the story and everything, I really like the art on this. I don't know.
Yes, I really liked it.
It's got like a little cartoony, but it's got like anime and like
the humor's there.
The humor was there. It was like kind of wholesome and everything. I really liked it.
It was very wholesome. I would say this is probably one of the most wholesome ones we've read, where it was just like it's nice. It was very nice.
Yeah, as opposed to the one where the guy goes around murdering people in his dreams. Just
Yeah, you got to have the balance there. So, okay, well, let's move on to our second one. That was Little Bread Knight. That's the story by Michael Dannon, art by Huang Trong Tien and Du Din Lan. The next one we're doing is Telos, and that's by David Arzumanian and Tigran Janjughazian. I'm sorry.
All right, so we get a wall of text to start off with, and it goes a little something like, once someone said that everything in nature has a telos, or an ultimate goal. Telos of a knife, for instance, is supposed to cut, and the telos of a tree is to grow, produce fruit, and reproduce. Every activity has a telos, which is the answer to the questions. Why are you doing this? Do you people even know your own telos? I know mine. And then we get a cool picture, which is in the middle of a battleground between a wounded fighter and this like huge monster with Asian dragons on its shoulder pads and like a giant Asian dragon head. We immediately leave that and go to a bazaar of sorts where we see some streetgoers talking about a green-eyed mercenary. This piques the interest of a passerby who requests information on the whereabouts of this green-eyed merc, and after trading the last bit of his money to these strangers, he zooms off in the direction they point him to. Then we go into the crowd, which is gathered around a mysterious figure with these really bright glowing eyes, who seems to be extorting the townspeople for protection from the Robustos gang. Another mysterious character is up on a balcony watching everything going on, and that's when he sees the presumed main character jump into the crowd and immediately call the green-eyed mercenary an imposter. Some thugs join in to silence him, but he's able to quickly dispatch them, and then he starts to fight the imposter, who is also on the attack with some weird, strange, burning, viscous liquid. Before there's like a counterattack that comes from the imposter, the mysterious onlooker jumps into the fray and is able to end the fight with just a single kick to this dude's face. And before any introductions are made between the two of them, the mysterious fighter tells our MC that they need to run. So as along the way, as they're trying to escape, the MC introduces himself as Leo, who is a traveler from the Valley of Winds, and the other character is Nemoi, who is also a traveler of sorts. They both seem to be awakened fighters, which they don't go into describing any further than that, with Nemoi saying that he only recently got his powers and he hasn't fully figured them out yet. Once they get to a safe place, which is on the top of a building, Nemoi starts to ask Leo why he's risking his life to find a mercenary. Leo then tells him that he no longer wants to live a life that isn't his, and he wants to be free like a mercenary, just like Green Eye, who has traveled all over the world. He then asks Nemoi's opinion on the state of the world, asking how it could get like this, despite the fact that the people who made it were advanced enough to do so. Nemoi then comments saying that no one really cares anymore, and that they likely just stopped appreciating what they had. We end on a final image of a beautiful view, which is this broken down city that's been overgrown with trees. And then to end it all, we get a nice little summary saying, greed, selfishness, foolishness, all these left to the collapse of the human civilization. But over time, a new society was formed from the ruins. The world was divided and ruled by the awakened. The rest of the people were called scum and expelled, leaving them to fend for themselves. This is the story about a group of people brought together by fate in order to find their place in this chaotic world, explore its secrets, and maybe change it for the better. And that's pretty much it. So I gotta say, this one was a quick one. It was like 24 pages. I love the art. I kind of wish we got more out of it, though. Like, this is one of the ones where they could have gone another 30 pages and, really dove into it. I would have liked maybe a little bit more art about these descriptions rather than just getting the descriptions at the end.
They talked about at the end, right, where they said they found out about the competition really late and they couldn't finish as much as they wanted to, which I feel like is fair. And it's like sometimes it's better to get something in than nothing in. And even from the short pages, like, I gotta agree with you, I thought it was good. It's like the art was really good. You don't get to know much about the world aside from, it's kind of fucked up. That's ruled by the awakened people.
Which just seemed like a bunch of dickheads at this point.
Yeah, definitely.
This is kind of the equivalent of My Hero Academia to Sam, where it's pretty much you either have powers or you should just kill yourself.
It's not worth it.
Yeah,
it's kind of lame.
The guy is not even the correct green-eyed mercenary. He's raking in cash. So
seriously,
hey, it's like the beginning of Fairy Tail, where someone's pretending to be the salamander.
True. And this could easily turn into like an adventure anime. It could go, or manga. It could go either way, because it could be something kind of like Samurai Champloo, where they're trying to find the sunflower guy, or it could just go where it's like, we're just gonna go fuck everybody up to try to find this green-eyed mercenary guy. Could go either way, and kind of wish we could see more of that. But once again, I like the art style. I like kind of the setup of it, but it's too little to really judge anything based off of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, like I was left with more of I wish I could get a bigger bite out of the whole thing, like a tiny bit of world building, and then just kind of the exploration of the awakened,
which is really good because considering the fact that it is so short and there's not much to it, we would all probably be like, there's not much to it, we're kind of over it. But the art was cool. The little bit of world building that we did get was nice enough, so it's like we all do want to read more. And again, like the fact, like Sam was saying, they got something out. The art was fantastic to me. Like, I really liked it, and all the characters looked super cool. If I was like an edgy teenager still, I would have fucking loved them all, and I would have wanted to cosplay.
I was about to say, this is right up your alley.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but I liked it, but there's not much to comment about. I just want to know more about the world at this point.
Yeah. Well, shout out to Armenia. Let's move on to the next one. That was Telos by David Arzumanian and Tigran Jajughazian. I'm so sorry. Tigran, I'm so sorry. And the last one is going to be Grind, and that's by Luke Bates.
So immediately we start with someone doing it looks like a sick trick. I'm just going to say it's a kickflip at this point. Or a heel flip by the picture. But anyways, it's the story of this kid who became a professional skateboarder. But, that's not the story. That's not the story he wants to tell you. His story is all about pain, the effort, and the thrill of achieving his dreams. So I'm assuming we cut back to him in the past, and he's this kid that he's just walking down this alley, uh, has never seen a skateboard, and you see some dude skateboarding, and he's like, "Oh, hey, what's that?" But the guy's kind of in a hurry, is upset, so he yells at him to get out of his way. He doesn't get out of the way, so the guy gets upset, stops, pops his board up, and then just smacks him in the face with the tail of it. Which, I mean, if you look at the picture, it's kind of gruesome.
So I do have to pause you guys. What would you normally do in this situation? Would you call the cops? Because I would call the cops.
Yeah, knocked
You
out.
can't. You're knocked out.
True.
As you see in the next couple of panels, he's just like, "Whoa, what is this? I've never seen that before." He's like a piece of wood with wheels. He's like, "The possibilities are endless," and then he passes out. But yeah, I mean, if someone was around, maybe they'd call the cops. I don't know. I don't know. This is actually in London, UK, in 2022.
Well,
So
realistically, they have cameras everywhere.
yeah,
So-
yeah, straight up. We've seen Fast and Furious. They can find us.
I've just, I would never think get shot by a gun. Wow, what was that thing that fired bullets so quickly? I wonder what it is. So many.
If you've never seen it before, though,
Yeah,
you would.
It's kind of cool.
Like, if you put
Yeah.
yourself in cowboy Indian time and you got shot, you'd be like, "What the fuck was that?" Like,
Yeehaw, and then pass out. You're right.
He wakes up in his bed. He's just like, "Oh, something hurt, whatever." He walks downstairs and he sees his mother, who his mother looks to be in some rough shape. She's kind of mad at him. She's like, "Hey, you're getting into trouble again." And he's like, "Oh, that thing, it's a skateboard. I want to try it. It looks super cool." To which his mom immediately snaps and is like, "No, you're not doing foolish stuff." He's like, "That's how your father died." He's like, "Now find a way to make some money." He goes back and lays down. He just kind of happens to look over and he sees a box that says Dad's stuff. And he's like, "You know what? Dad would have wanted me to do this." So he looks through it and he finds plank of wood and he takes apart some roller skates and he's like, "Voila, a skateboard." So he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go and practice." And he's looking over the horizon as he goes to practice, but he falls. And those are the growing pains of skateboarding. Got to learn to ride it first. After a while, he's been riding. He's starting to get really good. He's got his bearings, and then he finds a like a flyer that a skate park is opening real soon. And he's just like, "All right, I'm all in." Immediately, he goes to the skate park. He makes it there, and he sees this concrete jungle of a skate park. He's like, "All right, this is cool." Immediately sees people that are amazing, that are doing these cool tricks, and this hooded figure just zooms past everybody. To everyone's surprise, this hooded figure is a chick. Gasp, everybody. Everyone's like, "Oh my God," some people are hitting on her, and then she stares at her MC, who at this point I don't think he's given up his name yet, but he tries to do a trick, and she's impressed with the plank of wood that he's riding, and she's like, "Oh, you need a proper board." Tells him, here's my backup, gives it to him. They kind of introduce themselves, and he's like, "My name is Levi," and we find out her name is Amy.
something. Ami. Amy.
Ami?
Could be either or.
Amy. But they become good friends, and he's just getting better. To which at one point his mom finds out that he's skateboarding, and she's really upset. But then it's like, "Hey, I'm gonna let you skate, but you gotta win this tournament and bring home the cash, baby." He's like, "I got this, dude. I'm gonna be a pro." So immediately he goes to the skate park, and he's like, kind of retelling the story, I guess, at this point. And he's just like, he's like, "I got some friends. I have a rival, which is the guy who beat his ass." And he's like, "Now I'm here to become a pro, or the world's greatest skater," I think at this point is what he says. But he literally is like doing a sick ass flip over his enemy. So that's how he ends it.
Take him down. Jose, did you like that one as the skater in the group?
Listen, skateboarding is so difficult as it is, but I just feel like the story kind of jumped around a little bit too much for me.
I mean, it
Yeah.
wasn't a really short one though. It was like it did have a lot of pages because I think a lot
It
of
had a
the-
lot of action shots. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I do love some action shots. It's just I feel like it's so hard to tell a story through skateboarding sometimes.
What did you think of the art
Especially
style?
the art style is very like it's a very interesting style, but it's like he's definitely like learning how to draw almost.
It
that makes sense.
reminded me. I almost thought it was a choice when I was reading it because it reminded me of like skateboard stickers, like where they would draw
Yeah,
their
a little
character
bit.
looking like that.
It's definitely
that's what it reminded me
gives me
of.
the vibe. Yeah,
I
it
got
gives
like
me the
a-
skater vibe.
I got like a Beavis and Butthead almost. Like I don't know, it's just like the weird body proportions and stuff like that. But I
But
couldn't
it
tell if it was
works
a
for
choice.
it.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
mean, that's the vibe. Like, there's a lot of skater stuff that looks like that. So that's why it's like I was watching it or reading it, and at first it's like, it's like it's not the best, but it's like I think this is a choice. Like, it's a stylistic choice that it looks like that because it gives to the skater aesthetic.
And now I know this was pretty wholesome, just kind of bare bones, like it was just a story about this kid coming to terms with like being a good skater. But I really want to hyperanalyze a few things. His dad had a box of stuff, so at one point he was saying, "Oh, it's just like the DIY projects I used to have with or do with my dad." But the dad died skateboarding. How is this kid for the first time in his
No,
life
I,
ever
No.
I'm
seeing a
I'm pretty
skateboard?
No.
sure it was he died doing dangerous things, is what his
Mhm.
mom says.
Yep.
I think he died skateboarding, guys.
No.
No,
No.
Oh,
if he died skateboarding, I'm pretty sure we would have seen at least like a Dogtown skateboard or something
Add
like
this to
that.
the list. Like radio stations, I'll go to the ad break at the same time, dude. Just put the rep.
second
The
point.
mom said
Second-
specifically he died doing those crazy things, is what she
Mhm.
said.
which could have been interpreted as skateboards and changing the radio stations to appropriate times. The second thing is how the fuck is he riding a skateboard with roller skate fucking wheels? They're
I
so close
feel like
together.
that was originally how skateboarding kind of happened. I'm not 100% sure.
I'm coming in trying to fucking meme out here, and Jose's
Yeah.
like, lore has it.
The lords of the skate world have
I was just
sorry.
looking. I'm like, there's no way. Like, just knowing how skates are, they're so close. I'm like, dude, that must suck dick to ride a skateboard with that like right in the center. But he
Well,
could
modern
probably like,
skateboarding kind of like evolved. I think it was in the 80s or in the 70s, I think.
I'm getting beat the fuck out this time.
Josh, watch Lords of Dogtown.
Yeah, please.
Watch all
dude.
those early
do your
skating
research
movies.
before you show up to the video next time,
I'm-
Josh. All right.
I'll check my privilege. I'll educate myself. I am so sorry.
Come on, Josh. You
Um,
said you wanted to learn to skate. You got to learn the basics.
My next thing was basically that the mother was a crack addict and went from, oh, your father died doing these dangerous things interpreted as skateboards to me.
I said
And-
she's probably a 2 packs a day kind of lady, but I mean, she's stressed out because she's got to make sure her kid eats.
They're broke. Yeah.
They're broke
But then she's totally cool with him risking his life to go.
because
Get some
she probably
skateboard
saw how
money.
badass
Because
he
it's
was.
all about the money, money, money. Gotta get the prize money. That's the perfect way. It's like, listen, I don't want you to skateboard, but if you bring home the cash, then I'll let it fly.
She'll look the other way.
That's a motherly instinct if I've ever seen one.
Yep. He goes on to become triple X.
The greatest.
So-
Oh, yeah.
Wait, Vin Diesel?
yeah, this is the origin story of Vin Diesel, actually.
Yo,
Yeah.
that'd be dope as fuck.
It
It
I mean,
started.
back to like the actual manga, it was good. I didn't have a problem with it. The art style was different, which is nice. It's cool. It looks like the skater aesthetic. If that's what you were going for, I think that's cool. The story itself was a little like, okay, it did, like Jose said, hop around a lot, where it was just like, I'm learning how to skateboard. Here I met this girl. We skated a lot. Now I'm going home. I got caught. Now I'm gonna go to skateboard competitions. Like, wow, that was fast. Like, holy
I
shit.
wouldn't say it hopped around. I said it did I would say it did a few ollies around the plot
Okay.
line.
Josh, just disconnect, please. But I thought it was like job well done. It's not my favorite out of any of the ones we read, but I do get it. I think it was good. I just think for a one shot, there were a lot of action shots that made it not have a lot of substance to it.
Yeah, it was 44
Oh,
pages
yeah.
and read almost as quick as my 24
It
page
was
one.
fast.
Yeah.
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 I wish he would have met his rival at the skate park
And
and then
decked him.
started. Well,
Deck-
not necessarily decked him, but
Yeah.
like, let's say they played a game of skate or something, and they did that, and he beats him just
It's like,
on this
I
skateboard
challenge you. Whap!
Just in the head.
And I got a friend who's a girl, and
Yeah.
then just ends right off there.
Yeah.
I would have loved that. Plus
Yeah,
5
just a-
points at that point.
Yeah, I just wish there was a little bit more connections towards like him having
You
his
could
rival.
still had
We-
another 11 pages to play around with.
yeah, I
True.
definitely
Could have watched the guy bleed out after getting hit by a fucking board.
Trucks first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
Well, let's figure out which one we like the most. So once again, the three we read this week was Little Bread Night. That was by Michael Dannon with art by Huang Trong Tien and Du Den Lan. Telos by David Arzumanyan and Tigran John Jug Hazian. Once again, Tigran, I'm so sorry. Grind by Luke Bates. So
You really went for this for the third time. I am impressed with you. You get honorable mentions this time, my guy.
Oh God. So is there one that you guys liked more than the others? So Telos is obviously really short. Little Bread Knight is your standard. I think it was 54, so just barely a little short. And then Grind was 44 pages, but read really fast as well. Is there anyone that you liked more than the others?
I'm gonna go with Little Bread Knight this week with honorable mentions for Telos. I think Telos would have won if it was longer and had more to it, but again, that's not to
Yeah, it's
their
right up your
discredit.
alleyway. Edgy as fuck.
Edgy as
Yep.
fuck. Really cool fucking ninja shit. I wanted to wear those clothing pieces around.
Yeah.
So I would have liked to see more, but Little Bread Knight was like a nice complete package.
Jose?
I agree. For me, Little Bread Knight is just a complete thing at this point. Same with Telos. I wanted to see a little bit more. I thought it was super cool and could have gone in a really cool direction. And then Grind at the end. I was like, wait, what?
Okay.
We just talked about it.
I would have gone Little Bread Knight as well. Obviously, it's, as you can see from the summaries, it is the most complete of a package. You get to see the characters. There's actually evolution. It's battle. It's Little Bread Knight by far takes the cake on this one. Telos, of course, was very short, as we mentioned, but very cool. It's like they accomplished a lot in those 20 pages. And Grind, I liked. Just it was so different, but it felt kind of empty, I suppose, is how I would explain that. So congratulations.
It just needed fillings.
Yeah, I agree.
Dragon pie, dragon fruit pie fillings. Yeah.
So congratulations, Little Bread Knight. Once again, Michael Dannon, and with the art by Huang Trong Tien and Du Den Lan. You guys are the winners this week. So fantastic manga. Hope you guys, wish you the best with the actual competition. We'll be back every Friday with new Tezuka manga reviews. We are coming close to being done, so I just want to go ahead and throw it out. We're going to end once it hits December. We'll pick our winner probably first week of December, and then we're not doing any more reviews. We got to move on to greener pastures, everybody. So if you want to slide stuff in, we might not be able to get to all of them, but we pick it random. So just slide in. We'll add it to the list. Everything gets picked at random. Whatever we get is whatever we get. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.